For 400 years, 80,000 Romans watched events in the Colosseum that history books describe in one paragraph. The reality of what happened inside that building was far more complex, and far stranger, than the movies showed you. As you imagine the roar of the crowd, consider this: the Colosseum's construction began in 72 AD under Emperor Vespasian, and was completed in 80 AD by his son Titus, who inaugurated it with a 100-day festival, including gladiatorial combats, animal hunts, and naumachia, which were reenactments of famous naval battles. Can you envision the scale of such an event, with 80,000 people in attendance, and wonder what it would have been like to be among them? Before the Colosseum's construction, Rome was a city of around 1 million inhabitants, with a growing population and a need for public entertainment, as evidenced by the numerous smaller amphitheaters that existed throughout the city, such as the amphitheater of Statilius Taurus, built in 29 BC. The Roman Republic had recently become the Roman Empire, with Augustus Caesar as its first emperor, who ruled from 27 BC to 14 AD, and established the Praetorian Guard, an elite group of soldiers who would later play a significant role in the Colosseum's history. As you consider the historical context, ask yourself, what role did the construction of the Colosseum play in the Roman Empire's strategy to maintain control over its population, particularly in light of the Roman Empire's expansion, which had reached its peak under Emperor Trajan, who ruled from 98 to 117 AD. The Roman Empire's vast territory stretched from Britain to Egypt, and from Spain to Syria, covering an area of approximately 5.9 million square miles. The main events that took place in the Colosseum were a testament to the Roman Empire's engineering prowess and its ability to stage large-scale public entertainments, such as the inauguration games held by Titus in 80 AD, which featured 9,000 wild animals, including lions, tigers, and bears, and lasted for 100 days. Gladiators, who were often slaves or prisoners of war, were trained in specialized schools, known as ludus, and were divided into different categories, such as the Murmillo, the Thraex, and the Retiarius, each with its own unique armor and fighting style. As you picture the gladiators in combat, consider this: most gladiators survived their battles, and some even formed unions, like the Collegium Gladiatorum, which was established in the 1st century AD, and were celebrated as celebrities, with their own fans and sponsors, such as the Roman aristocrat, Marcus Tullius Cicero, who was known to have been a patron of gladiators. The Colosseum also hosted naumachia, which involved flooding the arena and reenacting famous naval battles, such as the Battle of Salamis, which was fought in 480 BC, and required the construction of complex systems of canals, pipes, and pumps to flood and drain the arena, a feat of engineering that was only possible due to the Roman Empire's advanced knowledge of hydraulics, which was developed during the reign of Emperor Augustus. Can you imagine the thrill of watching a naval battle unfold in the middle of the Colosseum, with the sound of clashing swords and the smell of salt water and blood? The animal hunts, known as venations, were also a popular form of entertainment, and involved the slaughter of exotic animals, such as lions, tigers, and bears, which were often imported from distant parts of the empire, and were driven to extinction due to overhunting, as evidenced by the decline of the African elephant population, which was heavily hunted for its ivory tusks, and was eventually driven to extinction in the Roman Empire's territories. The aftermath of the Colosseum's events was significant, as it had a profound impact on the Roman population, and helped to maintain the Roman Empire's control over its citizens, as evidenced by the fact that the Colosseum was often used as a tool for political manipulation, with emperors using it to host events that would distract the population from economic and social problems, such as the grain shortages that occurred during the reign of Emperor Claudius, who ruled from 41 to 54 AD. As you consider the impact of the Colosseum on Roman society, ask yourself, how did the Colosseum's events contribute to the decline of the Roman Empire, which began in the 2nd century AD, and was marked by a series of civil wars, corruption, and external pressures, including the rise of the Huns and the Goths, who would eventually sack Rome in 410 AD. The Colosseum's construction and maintenance were also a significant drain on the Roman Empire's resources, with estimates suggesting that it cost around 100 million sestertii to build, and required the labor of thousands of workers, including slaves, soldiers, and engineers, who were often recruited from the Roman Empire's provinces, such as Egypt and Gaul. As you reflect on the history of the Colosseum, consider this: the Roman Empire's legacy can still be seen in the modern world, with many of its architectural and engineering innovations, such as the arch and the aqueduct, still in use today, and the Colosseum itself remains an iconic symbol of Rome's rich history, and a testament to the power and grandeur of the Roman Empire, which once spanned across 3 continents, and left a lasting impact on the world, with its language, laws, and culture still shaping our modern world, and leaving us to wonder, what would the world be like today if the Roman Empire had never existed, and what lessons can we learn from its rise and fall?